Listen up, people. Answer your first question. Yes. The rumors are true.
All right. Emergency press release dropped today. It was like Christmas yet again. Welcome back to the Nerdthusiast Poker podcast. I'm Hoagie, and I'm here with the man, or AKA not the man, Brian, not the man, Keen. What's up?
I'm definitely not the man, dude. I tell you what, we're coming off the Borgata Winter Open, whatever you want to call it. I fired a bunch of bullets and I went 0 for. I didn't cash in one. It's been a very dismal start to 2024. But with this WSOP news, I'm looking forward to rejuvenating my spirit a little bit. Looking at this schedule.
Yeah, I'm excited. I've already started looking at flights now. So you sent it to me today. I was like, oh, we got to jump on the podcast today and discuss it. I have not really looked. I looked at the main event stuff before because I knew I was playing the main event. But I haven't really dove into the schedule. So this is kind of like a blind react for me as we're going through this stuff. I was waiting for the podcast to kind of bring it up. Before we jump into it, make sure that you check out our sponsor, Gray Harbor Digital. They're one of the up-and-coming leading media companies out there. Our friend Brett runs the company, and they've been doing a really good job. They're one of the number one players in the game right now. So if you're looking to bring your company to the next level using media resources, check out Gray Harbor Digital for yourself. They have social media as well. They have Instagram accounts like Let's Go Adulting and other brands that they're a part of. So thank you to Gray Harbor Digital for being a sponsor. Just spend 3 seconds to go check them out for yourself. All right, so I got a press release up. I'm just going to go over a couple of things that have popped up new, and then we'll go over the week for week that kind of stood out. So the first one I want to highlight, and I kind of saw this coming. I was kind of waiting for this to happen. They have a seniors high roller no limit event for the first time ever. Now, I know this doesn't affect us. We're not at the senior level yet. But all the people from that original Moneymaker boon are starting to hit their like 40s and 50s range now. So the seniors events are like massive events. And I was waiting for some kind of like different kind of structured thing to come out. So they're having a $5,000 buy-in, 50,000 start stack. You got to be 50 years or older to play it. So that's Wednesday, June 26th. They have a mixed no limit, pot limit Omaha, double board bomb, 8-handed event, which just sounds like absolute chaos.
Dude, it's like worse than the flip and go, okay? Like, I understand WSOP is trying to pander to the masses. I mean, everyone loves this double board bomb pot bullshit. Me, I absolutely hate it because I literally go busto every single time I'm in one of these things. But point being, it takes absolutely no skill to win a double board bomb pot. I would love to see what the dynamic is. If it's going to be something similar to like the flip and go, where like afterwards it plays like a normal tournament, or like every hour it's like bomb pot, or
it's a mix between no limit holder and pot limit Omaha. So the pot limit Omaha will just be. Listen, I'm just waiting for the next year. It's going to be the WSP Craps tournament is what you're going to have. They're just going to have a Craps tournament in the middle.
No. The WSOP high card tournament. You're just going to pick a card out of the deck, and then you move on to the next level.
How'd you win your bracelet? Pick that ace, son. That's how I did it.
Yes.
So that's June 15th. I'm not going to lie. It's $1,500. If I was out there, I might throw a bullet at that just because of the shenanigans that it would bring. But I don't think I'm going to be out there that week. We'll get into more like kind of what I got planned so far. Poker News is sponsoring a Deep Stack Championship event. That is happening on June 25th. They're going to have special promotions, all kinds of things going on for that to earn points. And they're going to have so that's a whole other thing they got going on there. They're having an Independence Day celebration game, which is on July 3rd and July 4th, $800 buy-in, 40,000 start stack. That's new this year. During the main event, it says, they're having a $1,000 no limit hold'em during main event. It says, as Flight D of the main event occurs on Saturday, July 6th, there will be a $1,000 hold'em event at 7 p.m. that night. 2-day event contains starting stack of 20,000. That's just a little filler for people that bust out of the main, pretty much.
Yeah,
and then there's
probably.
there's a $3,000 mid stakes championship event for players that bust out of the main event. That's going to be in the same week. That's July 11th. So that's just a highlight of a couple of new things. But let's jump into the actual schedule. Let's start with the first week. What do you got to start it off there?
I mean, they kind of set it up similar to the way they set it up last year, where I think they kind of schedule their bread and butter events on the weekend, which
Mm-hmm.
means the one that's kind of like the bank the I'm sorry, the entry is low enough they're going to see massive fields, and it's on a weekend, so they're looking probably to pack the casinos up, all their properties with people to just degen away their money. But just looking at the first week, I mean, obviously the first event's pretty cool, the 5,000 champions reunion event, the freeze out. Part of the structure is if you knock out a main event champ in that event, you receive an entry into the main event for that year, which is pretty
That's
cool.
pretty cool. Yeah.
Um, I did notice that a lot of the lower buy-in tournaments, they're either freeze outs or they limit the number of re-entries, which I think a lot of people would be happy about because, again, you can't just keep firing at them. But number one, week one, event number 5, it's on Thursday, May 30th, the $1,000 Mystery Millions No Limit Hold'em event. So with that
Yep.
event, they're guaranteeing $1 million bounty and $1 million for first place. So
Sick.
that tournament is gonna probably crush it with the number of entries, just because of those two, you know, those two
Yeah.
guarantees there on top. Looks like it has four starting flights that first week, and it's all
That's going to
over
be
the
huge.
course of the weekend. So it starts on Thursday, runs through Friday, Saturday, and then the final flight, flight D, is on Sunday. So look, like I said, me, I'm always about the best bang for your buck. $1,000 buy-in, can't beat it. Looks like you can re-enter one time per flight. So $2,000 a day times 4, you're looking at 8 grand invested. This is me talking to my future self.
Just
If I
budgeting
do,
now.
yeah, if I do decide to go out there. So, fast forward to week number 2. Again, same thing. Starts on Thursday. Event number 20. It's a $300 buy-in. Gladiators of Poker event. So this is, from what I saw off first like glance, the lowest buy-in tournament of the series. $300, super affordable. It's guaranteeing a $3 million prize pool, which is,
Wild. For
again,
$300 is wild.
absolutely crazy. I mean, they're probably looking to set records for the most entries into a single tournament or something, because $300 is pretty much nothing. But the caveat to this is they're only limiting it to 2 re-entries per flight, and it looks like they have 1, 2, 3, 4 starting flights. Which, again, it runs from Thursday of that week to Sunday. 3-day event. It doesn't really say much other than you start with 30K in chips, 30-minute to 40-minute levels, probably on day 2. But I mean, $300, you're gonna get all the turds coming out for that. But
Right.
honestly, that's
Yes.
that's probably that's probably like a poker player's dream, because you might see some limp pots.
Yeah.
Might play some cheap pots and things like that, and it's only $300. So fast
The
forwarding to
shoot
the
the shootouts that weekend too. The 1,500 shootout. I know that a lot of people like that one too. So that kind of goes hand in hand with those that weekend. So
yeah. Then you have some mixed events throughout the week, some PLO, some 7-card stud that following week, the third week. But then again, fast forward to Friday. It's my favorite event outside of the main, because now I can say that because I played it this year. But the $1,500 monster stack, love this tournament. It sucks that it's where it's packaged into the middle. It's tough for me to get out there in the middle of June, but this is absolutely one of the best structured tournaments of the series. Looks like it has 1, 2. What do I have written down here? 3 starting flights. It's a 5-day
yep.
event. You start with 50K in chips, and it's hour-long levels.
Yeah,
Gives
that's hour-long levels is solid with 50,000 in chips. I mean, you get a lot of
Yep,
play in,
get a
especially
ton of
early. And
play. Yep, ton of play. And
that's
like I
what you know,
said, it's
and like again for me, I'm not going to be out there unfortunately that weekend. I already know that. I'm going camping that weekend, so I won't be there that weekend. But This is an event that I like in the future years coming with, my schedule. Obviously, my situation. I'll have more free time around the year. Hopefully next year. This is an event I have to play because my style, and like I will easily chip up to 150,000 in the first 3 levels on something like this just by taking a person's whole stack, and then I could just go from there. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
this is a tournament that I need to be playing because it's right up my alley. I love these things where you can build a huge stack super early with these things, and it's not like a complete gamble. I can really get under someone's skin and make it happen. Um, but
Yeah, then you're
I
playing. I mean, and then after that, I mean, depending on the structure sheet comes out, it usually plays fairly slow. Like if
yeah,
you could chip up, I mean, you're going to be sitting like 300 bigs for a good
yeah.
portion of the
That's
tournament.
what I'm saying. Like
Um,
I need to focus in the future of getting to more of these monster stacks and using them to my advantage.
yeah.
Your
So
double board pot is that weekend as well too, by the way.
yeah, I see that. Next week again, they got a lot more no limit, some Raz mixed in, 9 game mix on that Thursday, June 20th. And then back to the following weekend, another bread and butter tournament for them is the Millie Maker. This always has like a huge field, $1,500 on Friday, June 21st. The Millie Maker has 3 starting flights over the course of 5 days. The only difference with this tournament is it has longer levels, but you only start with 25K. So it's hour-long
Mm,
levels, but you're starting with I don't want to say a short stack because, when you first start the tournament, you're still starting with probably 100 bigs or something to that effect, but you don't get as much play out of this.
yeah.
But with the Million Maker, as well as I do, it's guaranteed $1 million for first place, which again, if you run hot in any type of tournament, it's the ones that have these high guarantees for first. Because, I mean, I couldn't even imagine. You get a sun run in your life. You don't have much on your resume. Couple 5K caches, whatever, and then boom, you hit for $1 million, and that just pretty much skyrockets your poker career into the stratosphere. Because
Yeah,
then you'll
and
be firing anything, and that's it. If the affordability gives you an opportunity to play the better tournaments with better structures, and yeah, the better players. But I think it's better to play against the guys that are looking at things from the same vantage point as you are versus the guys who are getting in there and just luck boxing their way into busting you out.
yeah,
Um,
I would say though, like looking at if I again, I'm not going to be out there for the monster stack, but if I'm looking at these two events and I'm if you're on the fence, if you're listening at home and you have to pick one of these weekends, you only got one weekend. I would go with the monster stack just because the payouts are going to be similar. You're going to get about the same price pool because the price is still 1,500. The difference is you're starting with your double stack. You're starting with 50,000. So I think the more bang for your buck is the monster stack over the million mare maker. And I think it might not be $1 million for first place for the monster stack, but it's going to be up there. I mean, it's going to be you're talking 6, 7, 800,000 guaranteed probably for first place in that event. So I
yeah.
think out of the two, it sounds sexier, like millionaire maker, like it sounds better. But realistically, if you're looking for more bang for your buck, the monster stack I think is where it's at.
So I know a lot of players out there, they try and schedule their events around like a 4 or 5 day window, like to see like what's affordable for them in that little snapshot. Because
Yeah,
for most people, a week in Vegas just isn't doable. But just remember this: if you're looking at a particular snapshot of the WSOP schedule, there are a ton of other tournaments going on out there. We talk about this every year. All the other poker tournament or all the other properties schedule their tournaments around the same time as WSOP. So look other places too before you kind of set your schedule, because you might look at the week of the monster stack, for instance, and there aren't many affordable sexy buy-in events other than the monster stack for that week. But there's nothing saying that like the Venetian's having something good, or the Win Aria. Like there's all kinds of other things going on out there that might kind of appeal to you, so that like maybe you'll get one or two bullets into a WSOP event, but then you're bouncing from casino to casino with the other events that are a little bit more in your wheelhouse, or what you were thinking.
I think
Because that's
I think
that's
that
that's how a lot of people set stuff up.
I think now too, which is nice, and I look forward to, is like I start building my schedule. Like I pick my week. I know you're kind of the same, but now what's nice is now that this schedule's out, all the other casinos kind of emulate off of this and kind of make their schedule accordingly. So like every couple weeks now, a new casino like Orleans or Venetian or Wynn, they all start dropping their stuff like you're saying. So now it's like, okay, every 2 weeks a new present's coming out for me. It's like, oh sweet, now I can look through this schedule. I can look through this schedule.
Yes. Yep.
So I'm looking forward to building all that out as well myself. And I plan on my day, like 1 day event, but then, I kind of look like same thing as you. It's like, all right, what am I going to play on this day or whatever, in case I don't make day 2 or 3 and try to, but there's stuff. I mean,
There's
all
stuff
over the
everywhere.
place.
Everywhere.
Yeah. The
Um,
$50,000 Players Championship is the same weekend as the Millionaire Maker as well. Just note, and the Super Seniors event, which is 60 or older, is happening June 24th, that whole weekend. So I would say that's probably, if you're an older gentleman or female, that might be a good weekend to go because you could play Millionaire Maker and the Super Seniors. I'm waiting for, now that they threw up this high roller seniors event, I'm waiting for like in 10 years when there's all this boom sliding through. I bet you're going to see like a super legacy seniors event where it's like 70 and older. Like I think that's the
yeah.
next thing coming because you're going to have that whole crew coming through at that
Dudes
point.
coming with their wheelchairs and their fucking
Park 'em
oxygen
up.
tanks.
Have those oxygen bars on the side of the tables that they have, like when you walk around.
I need the 9 seat. I need the 9 seat.
I can't see. Put me at the 4 or 5. Can I move?
Jerry, what's that flop say? Anyway, all right. So that next week, it looks like we got the Colossus is coming back. $400 Colossus. This is not something that I typically look forward to. I haven't played it. I don't go out there for it. It's just mayhem. It's mayhem.
If you like insanity, this is the tournament for you.
Yes.
If you like waiting in lines for fucking hours, then yes, this is you.
But again, it's an affordable tournament, but it's also absolutely like a shot in the dark. It's not like the 3 mil guaranteed event, even though the Colossus will get there. Maybe the $300 event, like the Gladiators of Poker or whatever. That's coming with a hard guarantee, but the Colossus doesn't. Granted, I know it's probably going to get real close to whatever the hell the 300 is going to play, but again, it's going to be a shit show for anybody that's looking to get out there and they're like, oh yeah, I'm going to go register at like 9:30. Yeah, and the flight starts at 10. Like
I just glancing at this weekend though, so I would say if you're more on the budget side of things, let's say you have about $2,000. Let's say you have $2,000 and you're just going out there with the dream. This might be the good weekend to do it because you could come in Thursday. They have the $500 Salute the Warriors charity event, which usually gets a good turnout. Then you have the Colossus. You could put a bullet or two into that for $400 each. And then on Monday, you have the $1,000 tag team, which you could split. I don't know. Is that 1,000 each or is it's 500 each? I think, right?
It's 500 each. But that whole week. So if you come in on Tuesday of that week, the 25th, it's an affordable tournament every day. You have the Poker News Deep Stack, which is 600. Then a No Limit Deep Stack on that Wednesday, 600. Then you have to Salute the Warriors on Thursday. Then you have the Colossus on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So like you said, like if you're looking to, get the most play for whatever kind of bankroll you have, that's the week to go. Yes, they're lower buy-in tournaments, which means they won't have as much money on the top end. But in the same breath, you have to get there first before you can start shelling out $1,500, $2,000, $10,000 for buy-ins. But that's definitely the most affordable week of the series that would work for most people's bankrolls.
If you're listening home, you got to realize this is not the Gucci podcast. This is like the Target brand podcast. You know what I mean? Like we're a little above Walmart, but barely. Okay, so we're talking budget. We're talking budget events. So that's what's going on here. We're not talking about high rollers. If you want to hear that, go listen to Berkey or one of the other podcasts because it's not going to be us. Maybe one day, but we're not nowhere near there yet. So if Keen could bink something for once in his life for $1 million, we could maybe start running it up here, and then we'll be good.
Listen, I have been rethinking my poker career over the last 6 or 7 weeks, thinking to myself like, maybe I should just be, I don't know, a backgammon player or something. I don't know.
I do want to. I do want to get on the Monopoly Championship. We got to work on that one day. That's a future goal. Okay,
So
so where are we
heading
going
into
from there?
heading
The
into
big dog.
main event week.
Yes.
Obviously, we have, you already mentioned it, the $800 Independence Day celebration. But just before that, on Tuesday, July 2nd, we got the mini main, which is a favorite for a lot of people. Same starting stack as the main, 60K, but you only get 30-minute levels. But the mini main, from what I understand, plays as a freeze out type event, just like the main event does. You played the mini main this year, or no? When did you play the mini main?
The year before, I think. I think I played it the year before.
Yeah, I remember you played it, but yes, it's a freeze out style event. But then again, this week is actually pretty good for people who are balling on a budget. You got the mini main on the second. You got the $800 event on the third and the fourth. The Independence Day celebration. Then you got another $1,000 no limit event on Saturday the 6th. $600 on Sunday. So it's affordable for if you're out there for the main, maybe you're sweating one of your friends who satellited in, you're going out there for the enjoyment of seeing him maybe make a sun run or whatever you want to call it. They got the following week $1,000 mystery bounty. Doesn't look like there's any type of guarantee on that, but that's pretty much what I had for the most part. Because after the main starts, I don't really look at much of the schedule following the main. I didn't know if you saw anything that stood out to you, but once the
So
main kind of goes, it's kind of like the dregs of of the schedule. Like, yeah, they got a couple things left, but like the 777s that following week, the closer is always a good tournament, but I feel like the swan song is always the main, and then I'm never out there beyond those dates. The latest I've been there is, like I said, the 11th, 12th of July, and then usually I'm home and licking my wounds by then.
so I'm looking at, like I said, this is the first time I kind of really looked at it. So my game plan, I know, is this as of right now. I'm gonna fly out Saturday, July 6th.
Hmm.
I'm gonna I learn my lesson. I'm gonna make sure that I have enough time. I'm gonna do the same thing I did last time. I'm gonna play day two, which is the 7th or 8th, which I'll play the 8th, which is that Monday. So I'll fly out the 6th. That gives me a day to chill on the 7th, kind of reset my sleep schedule, be all like focused and ready to go. So the first 2 days I won't really be doing anything, but just kind of relaxing. And then Monday I'm going to jump right into the day two of the main. And then what I'll do is backup plan Tuesday and Wednesday are flight A and B of the $1,000 mystery bounty. It doesn't. I clicked on it though. It doesn't have like what the top prize is for that event, so I don't
No,
know
it
what it's
doesn't.
going to be.
Yeah, yeah,
So
it doesn't
but
have like that million guarantee, but
you start at 40,000 chips. It's 40-minute levels, so that's going to be my plan B. Obviously, the main's plan A, and then Tuesday and Wednesday will be a bullet in each of those if I have to. But then after that, like Thursday, there's a mid stakes 3K. I don't, unless my bankroll's really popping, I don't know if I'll be on that. So the rest of the week, if I mean, hopefully I'm running the main that week, all week.
yeah.
But if not, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I'll probably be looking at tournaments elsewhere throughout the week. So that's going to be my main week. I'm going to be out there flying out July 6th and then kind of just staying for a week or however long it takes. The following weekend, the one thing that sucks is last year the 777 was earlier in the week, wasn't it?
It was during the main.
Yeah. So this is the following weekend. It's a 3-day event, and day two isn't till Monday the 15th. No, there's even a flight C on the 15th. So you don't even see day two till the 16th. So that, I mean, unless I'm running super deep and I run deep in the main, I'm just like staying another week. That's probably gonna be out of question too. So realistically, I'll be looking at other casinos at Thursday, Friday, Saturday, the 11th, 12th, 13th, and 14th
Yeah.
outside of the WSOP, because there's not a whole lot of like smaller stuff
No,
the
there
middle of the
isn't.
week now.
Other than that, like you mentioned, that $1,000 mystery bounty. So, but
And
hey, you don't have to worry about it because this year's the year. You're gonna make a deep ass run. You're gonna get to day 5 or 6. You're gonna spin it up. You're gonna make that FT, son. You're gonna make
I'm
daddy
just
some
trying
more money.
I'm tired of paying Keen's mortgage here. Let's go. I'm just trying to get to day 4, man. That's the goal. I've never got past day 3. So day 4 in the money, that's the goal. One day at a time, man. I want to get there, but I'm excited now. The schedule's out. Like I'm literally I was already looking at flights this morning, so I found one. So yeah, we're gonna do it. So now, what I know you're kind of depending on bankroll, but is there anything you're thinking yet or no?
I haven't really, like I said, I literally just opened it when I was out this afternoon when I saw the post. I kind of did a brief once over just to prepare to kind of come on here and do this. I got to look at it. I mean, my schedule's a little hinky only because I can't really jet out of here in the middle of June because my kids are still in school.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
the
same.
only negative thing with with some of the early events in the series, and then like the middle of June events. Like I said, I would love to get in and fly in for that monster, but I honestly I might be piggybacking off when you go. Maybe fly in a day or two sooner, play some of the smaller $1,000 events, and then chill with
Yeah,
you for that first week, that weekend when you get in.
yeah,
But we'll see.
because
I
if
got
you,
I gotta kind of look at it a little bit closer, see what my schedules are. I gotta obviously talk to the missus and get things kind of
yep,
squared
yep.
away with her.
That's
Um,
why I'm gonna go fly out. I mean, that gives me July 4th with the kids. Like I like to spend down the shore with them, and like I said, I
yeah,
fly out the 6th. But even if you fly out on the 5th, right? July 6th, there's $1,000. Like let's say your bankroll is not super cush, right? Like, and you're
mhm.
just kind of just whatever. I mean, hopefully it is. Hopefully you freaking bink something the Brigada this week, and you're just playing the main besides me. Like, and we're just running it up again. It'll be awesome. But if not, worst case scenario, that Saturday, you have $1,000 no limit holdout freeze out event. Then you have a $600 ultra stack on Sunday. It's a date. There's a flight A and B on Monday, and then you have the $1,000 mystery bounty on Tuesday and Wednesday. So,
Yeah,
like realistically, for like if you're on the cheap side of things, for like 4 Gs, you can pretty much get like 5 days of like pretty solid tournaments in.
yeah. I think worst case scenario, just looking at it, I would fly in Sunday and probably play Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday if needed, and then if
Decide
I'm
kind of.
yeah, and then decide from there because I just there's nothing really that stands out. Like, yeah, that's Saturday, but I wouldn't want to come in on that Saturday and then have to pay,
Yeah,
an
thousand
extra.
bucks.
It's going to be an extra $1,000, not even to play the tournament, to stay there. You know what I mean? Like,
Hmm,
because
hmm.
I'd be paying just to stay on a Saturday night, and we know how the Saturday
Yeah.
nights are. It's going to be through
Yep.
the
Yep.
roof.
Yep. Yeah.
So, yeah,
That.
we'll see,
But
man.
that.
But
That I think, dude, if you can really aim for that $1,000 mystery bounty event that week, though, because even though there's not a top prize, I'm assuming it's going to be $250,000 minimum is going to be the top prize. Because I know they had the $1,000,000
yeah,
one we talked about, and with all these dudes busting out of the main, that tournament is going to be absolutely loaded. Like it's going to
yeah.
be, that's going to be a good one to get into
Yeah, that's what I'm
for
thinking.
sure.
So that's just at first glance. We'll see. Like you said,
Okay,
bankroll's obviously the crutch of it all. So,
let's
um,
go. Just ship. We got to ship. You got to ship a Brigada this spring.
but
Let's go.
anyway, yeah, guys, if you're listening, comment below. Let us know what you guys are looking at, what you guys are thinking. We're always trying to interact with our audience. We try and get back to anyone who comments or asks us questions. Um, but yeah, man, WSOP 2024, it's coming, baby. Can't wait to see the structures. That's really the crux of it for me. Most of them don't change much, but for the newer events, I want to see definitely that double board, the double board bomb pot. I want to see how they're gonna put this
It's
together,
chaos.
bro.
Uh yes, thank you. And make sure you're following, subscribed. We have a couple good episodes coming up. We have confirmed guests of coming up of Samuel Laskowitz, who is like the wonder kid in the last 2 years, like 1.5 million in cashes. We also have another wonder kid that's confirmed for later this spring, Jeremy Becker, who's the daily crusher in Vegas, if you guys have ever seen him. So he's coming on the show. So a lot of good episodes coming up in the future for Nerdthusiasts. Make sure you're following, checking out all our other content as well. We do video games, music, I don't know. There's a million things on our channel. Go check them all out. Me and Brian obviously handle the poker stuff, but thanks everybody. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out, everybody.
Later.